Hello?
Hey, Sisu, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
Hey, I'm great, man. How is the weather that side?
So good, Dola.
Yeah. Alangapa today is here. So thanks a lot for affording us your time in the morning just to talk to you about the series and what has been happening after it premiered.
No, it's a pleasure. Absolutely excited to be having this conversation with you.
Nice, lekker. So tell us, it's now been 13 years, after you publicized The Polygamist and it has found new life on Netflix. Did you ever imagine the story would reach this scale of global visibility?
No, I don't think I would have imagined that it would have received this kind of reception, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's literally superseded my expectations. And I think not just for me, but I think everyone on the production is just amazed at what's happened following the premiere. None of us expected it. I mean, look, I think the production was confident that it was a brilliant, well-made production, but we didn't expect the scale of this response. I mean, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
Yeah, true.
I don't even have the words. Yeah, and for a writer not to have words to explain it, it's just that's what it means.
Yeah, I see, especially after it's a self-published work, by the way. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. Like, if I think of the beginnings, there's that Bible verse: "Don't despise small beginnings." Mm-hmm. It truly was that. Mm-hmm. Nobody wanted it. And someone was actually saying, redirection, rejection is sometimes redirection. Mm-hmm. Not necessarily to say it was a bad story, but I think it was just a story that was ahead of its time. Yeah. And I also think I look at how many times people had tried to adapt it in the interim, in those 13 years. It's not like people weren't trying. Mm-hmm. And I think the time just wasn't right. I mean, when we started, there were no streamers. So I think also maybe the book was waiting for that time that when there are streamers. So I think, now when I look back at the journey, mm-hmm. It just makes sense. Everything happens, at its own time. And I trust in God's timing and God's speed. I know sometimes, I got frustrated along the way at times, like, when things weren't moving, But, because I had the love for writing, I still continue to write. That's why I have 3 other books after The Polygamist, yeah. Because it was the love. I've always had the love for writing. And I didn't give up. I said, okay, it'll happen one day. And I hope that's also an encouragement to a writer who feels like their work is not getting visibility and they're writing in obscurity. Because for most of us, it's like that.
Yeah. You spoke of many people trying to adapt it. What was the major hurdle with regards to that up until Netflix SA came into play?
So initially, when I teamed up with Nyathi Lokolile Chabalala, it was a funding issue and we didn't have expertise. And yeah, I think we got so discouraged that we gave it up. And then Ukholi Nigiwe, who's actually one of the directors on the series, was the second person who approached me and tried to do an adaptation. Mm-hmm. He tried for several years and it just failed to take off as well. But I'm happy that he ended up directing on the series because I know he had invested a lot into that adaptation. So it like I'm saying, it really worked out well in the end.
Yeah, that's nice.
And
So then, with regards to Netflix, when was it when they approached you? What happened? Can you please take us through that? When was it? And your recollection of the day they approached you to say, you know what, can we adapt this?
No, so it didn't happen that way. So what happens is you have a production company. It's the production companies that pitch to streamers, right? Mm-hmm. Way back in 2022.
Wow.
And then they are the ones who then went on to pitch to Netflix. So I only came into the picture after Netflix decided to take on the story.
I see.
So that's when in 2024, that's when I then went into the agreement with Netflix. Yeah, so it was also 2 years later, and it was another 2 years again before you saw the premiere. So it's a long time in terms of pipeline of events. Yeah. So that's how, so I met Netflix after, I think, in 2024, because I met them. I think it was that year. Yeah.
Right, nice. So I guess the timing had to be perfect, as you said. So take us through your first emotional reaction when you saw your characters fully brought to life, on screen by a major streaming platform. What went through your mind,
I was in shock. I was like, did I create that, Yeah, that's exactly what I felt. I was like, wow, I did that. It's one thing, having a book in print form. It's quite another to see it. It's like the visual representation of your characters, seeing them come to life. Yeah, I was in awe. I was like, whoa, did I do that? I had to pinch myself, Himilo, that feeling, Himilo Civis.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I felt,
Yo, a lot of people were crashing out, man. Yeah.
Sorry?
I was saying a lot of people were crashing out watching the series and stuff because a lot of people are out of yours.
Yeah, Kunjalo. I mean, I think when people will tell you, the ones who read the book as well can't put it down. And it's the same with the series. So for me, that to have that same tension, pacing in the series was was magnificent. And I think the short episodes also worked to give you that pacing and the cliffhangers. So the twists and turns in the book are the same in the series. So you have, it's the same. You want in the book, reading the book, you want to tear your hair out. Watching the film, it's the same. I mean, I've seen a lot of clips. I want to go TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's an emotional roller coaster. You really are invested. You watch, with mind, soul, and body.
Yeah.
And so I think it was just amazing. Even I as a writer was at the edge of my seat. Because I was like, what's going to happen next? They did a great job.
No, that's nice. I've seen a lot of reaction videos. Even people from the diaspora are crashing out saying, wow, what kind of writing is this? I think Sue needed therapy after writing this. So speaking of characters, there's Ojonasi Bagit. Yeah, there's a lot of memes. There's everything to do with Jonasi Komara. So this is a very complex character. Is he entirely fictional, or is he inspired by people you have encountered or observed in our society?
Jonasi is a work of fiction. So when I wrote, Jonasi is a narcissist, but I didn't have that language when I wrote the story. It's only now I can put that label on him because of what I've learned over the years. But that's what he is, and that's his character embodies that. It's not based on anyone. I see people trying to say infer it's based on someone else. It's not actually. and I think the fact that many people can point out to Jonasi is a testament of the power of that characterization of that character. So it can't just be one single person. I mean, people are saying my father's a Jonasi, my brother's a Jonasi, or my husband is a Jonasi.
Yeah.
So it can't just be one person.
Yeah.
And I think with me, I always say I'm an empathetic writer. So I try, when I write characters, I try to inhabit them. So when I'm writing that character, I become that character within the story, That's why I'm able to write characters without judging them, I become Ulindani in the story. I become Umatiba. And, the more you walk in a character's shoes, the more believable they are.
True.
And that's why those characters resonate with people. Because umuntu sitting khaya sila uS. uS sure siyamazi sakhule emagwegwe wesibekulo esi.
Yeah.
Indoda yakhe ayihlale ebenside. So do you get what I'm trying to say? People, it's the relatability. People want, characters that they can resonate with.
True.
And once people see themselves, that's why the series is popular, because if you're not seeing yourself, you're seeing someone else that you know. And that's what stories should be. Powerful stories resonate, they're relatable. And the representation matters. And so that's the power of the storytelling. I mean, even though now the characters are South African, right? I mean, originally they are Zimbabwean characters. You also see the adaptability that in South Africa, bakhona labo Jonas.
Yeah.
In Nigeria, labo sebesithi bafune yabo series with their own Jonas. Bakhona khona ngale. So do you understand what I'm saying? He's not just one person. Yeah, and Jonas, he didn't die, he multiplied. He truly multiplied.
Yeah, you know what? Apparently, all of us now are Jonases. One way or the other, if you're a guy, you're a Jonas somewhere, somehow. That's the status quo now. That's what people are saying.
No, I don't believe all men are Jonases.
No,
yeah,
that's cool.
Otherwise it would be mankind is doomed then. If every man is a Jonas, then we are doomed.
Yeah.
I still like to believe there are good men out there.
Yeah, true. They are. So now the Sodom Gomorrah, what informed your choice of the name in the novel? And what deeper meaning, if any, does it hold?
Gomorrah is based on Sodom and Gomorrah. That's where that name came from. Genesis 18 verse 19. Yeah, and that's the deeper meaning. If you read the Bible and you understand the context of Sodom and Gomorrah, then you understand why I use that name.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense because that's why Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed in the first place.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I got it.
And I think our world is like that. So it's pretty Sodom and Gomorrah. Look around you, nje. Yes, Pumela is Sodom.
Yeah, so now, how closely were you involved in the Netflix adaptation process? And did you have any influence over how the story was interpreted or reshaped for the screen?
No, I was not involved at all in the adaptation process. So, Utuli Zuma was the driver in the adaptation process together with Kuku Zuma Ncube, and they had a writers team. The head writer was Ubusisi Wezwani, and she had another team of writers. So it's 22 episodes. I mean, if you see the series, every episode is credited. The writer's credited there. So it was a collaborative effort, right?
Yeah.
And that's filmmaking is collaborative, right? Unless you're Tyler Perry. So so everyone came. They had a writer's room, and everyone came to the party. And in all fairness, I think they also wanted to have creative input. I mean, you'll see there are changes that they've made there.
Yeah.
If you've read the book, you understand the changes. That it's not exactly like book, but I think the changes also enhance the story. So, so for me, I could live with the changes. I guess it's difficult when you do an adaptation to have the author there, because it's almost like you're taking someone's dress that they've designed, you're altering it, and then you're giving it back to them and saying, okay, wear it now,
Yeah.
And I know the team was very nervous when they gave me the scripts, to read when they'd finished. They were very scared of my reaction. And even now, some of the cast members ask me, are you happy, because they say it's not, it's not easy.
Yeah, it's not exactly what it was.
Yeah, but I'm happy. I mean, when I read the script for the first time, I was turning the pages, and that's when I knew that, it's going to work.
Yeah.
Because the same tension you have from reading the book is what you had reading the script. So I was assured that, it's going to work.
Yeah, nice. You know what? I think the Netflix adaptation is introduced you, to a global appeal now. You are a global icon. So do you feel the pressure now to write with international appeal in mind, or do you remain grounded in telling distinctly African stories? Because I remember the other conversation that we had before, your storytelling was Afrocentric. So now, how are we going to move from here?
No, we're not changing. I'm still going to write my distinctly African stories. I mean, there's more where that came from. I feel like, our stories have not been told enough. They've not been heard enough for me to not digress. There are a lot of people writing those international stories. I don't need to write them, This is what has catapulted me into the limelight, the African stories.
Yeah.
So, I'll stick to doing what I do best, And I also don't, there's a danger when you start trying to critique your writing. I will write what continues to resonate with me and my beliefs and, the message that I want to amplify.
Yes.
So that I continue to write authentic stories. See, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
Writing to an audience is very dangerous. I think just continue writing what is authentic and real to you.
Yeah,
and it will still resonate, whether the audience is international or local.
Okay, so now there's no pressure from you to change. That's what you're saying?
No.
All right, now. So let's talk about transitioning, maybe more into screenwriting or film production following this success, or you will continue doing novels.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, what people don't understand is with screenwriting, okay, everything starts with the story. Mm-hmm. It's just you have to have a solid story. Mm. If you have a bad story, even if you have great actors, they will not be able to pull it off. Filmmaking, the basis of any film is a story. So writers often are undermined, unfortunately in this ecosystem of filmmaking. Mm-hmm. People always focus on, the people that you see on screen, not realizing that if it wasn't for that dialogue, if it wasn't for that storyline, you wouldn't have that show. So everything has to work together in symbiosis. So I will continue working on the bedrock, which is the stories. And yes, I would, I think I would also, going forward, like to have a more active involvement in translating my stories from the page to the film. Mm-hmm. Especially, I mean, books like the Gold Diggers. I don't know if you've read it.
Yeah.
It's about Zimbabwean immigrants coming into South Africa.
Yeah.
It's a very Zimbabwean story, and the one story I would love to see told by Zimbabweans. So I also want to have, an integral part in actually now, telling our stories, because we can't continue to allow people to tell our stories that we write as Zimbabweans. Zimbabweans, there's a lot of talent. We have talent when it comes to telling stories, mm-hmm. but we need to also be showcasing that talent for ourselves. Yeah, so that's my next, in terms of career trajectory. That's where I want to see myself going. Yeah. But I'm going to still write, because story is king. We still need to write those stories down. Yeah.
There is no film without a story, because a lot of people...
There's no film, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people were saying, we need to see more adaptations of your works besides The Polygamist. So how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel great. I'm happy to do it. I'm happy to see it. I mean, look, it's the next avenue. It makes sense, in terms of story progression. Because now my story can exist in a different medium and I reach a different audience, which I would not have had done previously. Mm-hmm. So I'm happy.
All right, nice. So when can you expect you back here in Bulawayo? Because remember, you are a Bulawayo girl and you've made us proud. A lot of people are chanting your name. So when can we expect to see you this side?
No, it's just that I want to just sell him Bona series. Isikhathi sonke lesibelling us belingandingi, to be honest. Iqiniso. It's just that series lesi lomsindo. So selimbuza uthi when I come to Bulawayo ngihlala ngikhona. No. But I normally come. Mm-hmm. It's dictated by, umntana uyafunda. So okay. I also have to I have to engineer my life around school holidays.
All right.
But the next time in Bulawayo, I'll let you know. Ngoba selifuna bakwazi. But eBulawayo ngiyabuya. And abazali bami baseBulawayo. I'm not a stranger at all to Bulawayo.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what? It's been wonderful talking to you as always, and thanks a lot for affording us the time and telling us, man, the story. We've spoken to you before it premiered. Now we're speaking to you after its premiere. Thanks a lot for your time, man.
Thank you so much.
Sharp,
Okay.
Okay, sharp.
Bye-bye.